happening.
Right. Skits is about to get kicked out. Or no, because he didn't start the recording.
You're
We're
going
not
to get
doing
kicked out.
our weekly tradition.
You're
Well,
going to get kicked
then,
out now.
well, then here we are. Welcome to the Dudecast. Did you guys know we have fucking subscribers? We have like over 10. It's like double digit fucking subscribers. So to all you weirdos who are actually watching this, thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's
Thank you very much. It means a lot to all of us.
We are the whale song.
And I mean, I suppose you guys are the reason we do this. I would say that shit, but really we do it for ourselves. You know, we're just kicking around, you know, hanging out on the internet like you do on a fucking Thursday night. So,
yeah.
Which we might have to change, boys, but anyway, we'll discuss that later. But welcome to the Dudecast. I am Adam, your host, Skits and Cal, my co-host, and joining us for the second time for the first time, as in this is the first guest we've had twice, is Caleb. Say what's up.
Howdy doody. Thanks for having me back.
Oh yeah,
of course, man. Well,
to be here.
As I remember, we ended on a trippy ass note, something to the tune of like parallel universes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah.
And like, I just gotta say though, okay, here's my like, I must be creating my timeline because this is really fucking weird. So my childhood football team, the Minnesota Vikings, are now being coached by someone who was born a few months from me and went to school with me for about 6 years. We know each other pretty well. We had a few classes together. I think that's the weirdest goddamn thing. And then the fact that my favorite movie in the world somehow has a religion based on it. Like when I found that out, like way after The Big Lebowski was my favorite movie, it was like, this is the trippiest damn thing. Like, excuse me, Dudeism? What? And then I actually looked into it. I was like, oh shit, these guys are serious.
Yeah.
Like, this is legit. So, you know,
we're almost 1 million strong.
Wrote a fucking book and all. Right. That's amazing. So to all the Dudeists in the world out there who may never find this podcast, you know,
this one's for you.
Carry on. Like fucking that. This one's for you. Cheers. So anyway, so Caleb, let's talk about it, man. What's on your mind? What do you want to discuss today?
I don't know. It's kind of a blank slate, to be honest. Not to be difficult, but not much floating around the old noodle today anyway.
That's not difficult. That's the complete opposite. So you are in your Dudeist fucking chi right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Agree, yeah.
So you're ready for like any question. Okay.
Right. That's what
Riddle
I mean.
me this.
Yeah. Okay.
What are the chances that this whole thing is like some computer simulation that became sentient and we are all like somewhat related to the Matrix, maybe not physical batteries, but plugged in somehow?
Yeah, I think those archetypes hold a lot of water, but not maybe so much in those particular frameworks. I don't really like Matrix sort of ideas or simulation sort of theories. They never really kind of fully hold up for me. But it all sorts of theories like that, it seems to always come down to, well, how specifically are you wording the different words you're using? Like how tight or narrow are your parameters for what you're saying? Because a lot of people who do take the sort of simulation idea pretty far start explaining it pretty loosely in terms that do feel kind of universally applicable. Like you say, turning sentient or something. Like there's a lot of stuff that says that, you know, the universe is just a dream in the mind of God. And that's easy to be like, oh yeah, sure it is. But like when you break down what that's actually saying from those sort of mystical components, it's like, oh, that is what it's saying. And so I feel like a lot of people who just say it's a simulation, man, are being like, I don't think you really get it. But the people who seem to really get that and take it far by the time they break it down so far enough to explain it, I'm like, yeah, that kind of seems like the same thing, you know, as the other stuff. It kind of all flows together, you know, in my opinion. I can't hear you. You're muted.
I think, you know, part of what, you know, the Big Lebowski is kind of showing is that like everyone's life is complex and ridiculous and beautiful and, you know, well, most of them anyway. But
Right.
like, you know, that idea I think scares a lot of people and fascinates a lot of people, you know, that every single person that you see that you'll never meet, that you'll never talk to, but every person you see just walking down the street is living a life as complex and varied as yours.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
But if it's all a simulation, maybe they're
That's what
just
I'm
something
saying.
that the computers put in my head. They're not even really
A lot
there.
of NPCs in the world, man.
It's-
A lot of people walking around with nothing fucking going on. I work with
Yeah.
6,000 people a day, and I will tell you that most of these people do not have a fucking thought in their head. There is nothing fucking going on, dude. Worker bees, NPCs saying weird shit to you.
Dude, it's just peasants. It's not like they're not just NPCs. There is a peasant consciousness that just is like a literal, almost animal, but you know, slightly above that, and just living out whatever existence they were told to live out.
Oh, I get you. So like a non-playable
Yeah.
character. I got you. Yeah.
Well, there's
A boring playable character. You
There's
could be a peasant if you want to.
Yeah, sure. By choice, you could choose that. Some people do. Ignorance is bliss, right?
Suppose so. I mean, you can be a peasant and a dude, you know, but like, I don't think that you can just be a dude by being boring. You know, I don't think that like defaults you into, you know, if it's so easy, then like, I don't know. I think Dudeism is for people that it's not natural for, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, I would say there
That
are very
dudishness
few.
is going with the flow.
Yeah, I think that there are very few dudists that are naturally dude. A lot of dudes have no idea that dudism exists because it is not something that they have latched onto or that they need. You motherfucker. Sorry guys, my lighting guy is non-existent.
Fuck that guy.
But yeah, for a lot of us, we came from some issues or from some trauma or for some just weird shit. I mean, for those of us that have like really latched onto it because it was something that we needed, and it was an explanation to why I was so freaked out, which was there was an explanation, so I just needed to stop.
So to me, this kind of brings up an interesting question, though, because what we see in the movie is one very interesting chapter in the
Right.
dude's life.
Right.
When the dude describes his normal everyday life, would we consider his life boring? He mentioned he drives around, he bowls, the occasional acid flashback. Would we consider his life boring, or would we consider him someone at peace with just being comfortable and doing the things that he enjoys?
Well, that's the thing. Like a peasant consciousness is kind of like this low level gray. And what the dude is doing is like he's like a light, you know, he's a light of calm and peace, like you said. So I think just him being around and hanging around like uplifts whatever place he's in.
But
you know, to this
like
yeah.
Somewhat subtly implies like the hard working man. And the dude was most certainly a lazy man.
Yes. Possibly the laziest in Los Angeles County.
Which would, put him pretty high in the run-ins and worldwide. But you know what I mean? It kind of, is he really a peasant, or he might be the drunken idiot if we're going medieval times? The town. He might be Barney from The Simpsons in medieval times.
No, because
wait, how do we get talking about a peasant in the first place? Because I never thought the dude was a peasant.
He is aware of his surroundings. He is aware of his consciousness. There are so many people that are walking around that just suck all the way around. They
Right.
just suck, and they don't know that they suck. They normally think they're awesome.
Right.
I might be one
That's
of those
true.
people.
Somewhat.
Come on. Skits knows he's
Well,
awesome.
I do think, for what it's worth, I do think that not only is the dude living a peasant lifestyle, I think he's very comfortable with it. He lives a simple life. You know, he
Working.
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't work. He doesn't dress in fancy clothes. He's not worried about the more elegant trappings of life. I think he's
But-
very content with his life.
You're also describing like a great sage, like someone who has achieved a sage level of consciousness is living very simply like that.
Maybe that's one of the big questions: is has he like hit some sort of enlightenment in the sense of being above the mundane stress of everyday life, or is he just intoxicated into a stupor? Not fully, but like, just to illustrate the ends of that spectrum.
Bro, he post dates a
Or
check for
perfect.
he post dates a check for half and half. Like he's keeping a buzz, but it's not extreme. You know what I mean?
It's sustainable.
Yeah, there's a reason that
Yeah.
everywhere he goes, he asks for a drink. It's not because he's an alcoholic. It's because he doesn't fucking have anything at home. I got to catch a buzz now.
That's true. That's a good point, actually. But it's hard. It's hard for me to get on board with peasant if he's not working at all.
That's true.
That's maybe.
I think I was equating peasant with more like simple.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyman.
But
Yeah.
no, I think, it's just the beautiful example of a simple life well lived with, but it's like there's something to, okay, so I love this idea. I think about this a lot, how the dude is kind of like not a chameleon intentionally, but he is like used by different people for very different things, but used nonetheless. He's used as like a baby daddy, as a courier, as a, I mean, help me out here. Like, just whoever meets him, it seems like just kind of uses him, not necessarily Walter, but like they help each other.
Even
But like,
even the brother Seamus immediately thinks like, "Hey, we can work together. Like, I can piggyback." Oh man, that's a good point.
exactly.
I like that.
Which was so interesting, like how he told him to fuck off in a way that like he never told anyone else.
Yeah.
You know,
He was on too many
suppose.
side quests already. Too many side quests. All right, he didn't fucking need another one.
and that's
No more.
and he was super at peace. He's the post-coital bliss. It's just helping my fucking lady friend conceive, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so Adam,
Oh.
this is going off topic, but I need to give you this before I forget about it. I'm gonna beat fucking Caleb's "the dude's a peasant" mindset. All right, because that's not cool, bro.
Okay.
Not cool at all. All right. So I need you to write.
Who fucking said that?
I need you to write a post movie where we find out that these little tournaments in the rinky-dink fucking bowling alley are actually like, $50,000 payoffs. And that's why he doesn't work. He's a semi-professional bowler.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's probably glad that we don't see what happened in the semis, because I did read that the Jesus's rings, actually one is one that you get for bowling a 900 series, 3 perfect games, and another for $8.99. They were going to get fucking stomped in the semis by Jesus.
No,
and
they
Liam.
were not. No, they were not. Fucking Jesus was making them
were.
kids steal that shit from their dads. Grandpa.
The only person on the dude's team that we ever see roll a strike died. So
he's the only one that bowls.
Aren't they disqualified on their team?
They should be. Who's the third?
Yeah,
they're going to get Gary?
If they don't find a replacement third, then wouldn't they be like forfeited out of the tournament?
Obviously, the stranger would be the third. All right, he would narrate everybody bowling, including himself.
Okay, I'd like to see that.
It'd be like Smokey's cousin, that other guy just standing in the background looking sad when Smokey's getting a fucking gun pulled on.
Oh yeah,
A poor guy. Oh
Okay,
man.
I only in the last year, less than that, but just to round up, found out about Jimmy Dale Gilmore being an artist and a musician and being like a traditional country music mystic, like very spiritual music this guy makes, but it's all honky tonk music too. And I was like, I didn't know this already existed. That was my big plan for the future. So he kind of beat me to it by a few decades. But yeah, I've been really digging Jimmy Dale Gilmore's trippy country music
That
lately.
stuff slams here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
like if your parents or, you know,
Yeah.
fucking older siblings or even you or Gen X, you know that shit. That and Dr. Hook. A lot of fucking Dr. Hook.
Yeah, for some reason that's still massive. Yeah.
Oh man.
But
He's 78, still doing it, man.
yeah, he's a legend.
Wow.
Okay, so I want to go back to the very, very
Yeah.
beginning, the end? The end of last time, the beginning of this time. So I was, you know, keeping to my regimen at one point or another. So I'm big on the like string theory type thing, and I have finally pieced together the Mandela effect and all the weird shit that's happening with everybody in the world and everything. It's ripples, man. It's like a
Okay.
guitar string, and we're just getting closer. There's a point where all these multiverses are going to collide into one. I'm excited. I want to
Okay.
see it.
Well, I'll dump my theory then as best as I've been able to figure it out because it doesn't really contradict yours, but it kind of looks at it from another angle, which is the best way I can picture it based on all the perspectives I've taken in about this. Is have you guys ever seen a video of the old-fashioned way? Well, and I guess it's still the way, but just now different. That you make rope, and it's strings that become bigger strings that are wrapped together into cords, that are wrapped together into rope, that are braided into your actual rope. I'm pretty sure that's how, like, if we're gonna say timelines or multiverses, like it's it's not that we're well, it is that we're getting closer and vibrating into one, but not like that's any different. Like that's always been there's always been a million going on. And then the way I've heard it said is like whichever gets the most energy and the most like mental most people on board thinking of that one becomes the dominant one. So that every moment of time and see you could even take this into those ideas of time is just one moment forever, right? Like it's non-linear because it's just all these different timelines constantly colliding into one another, becoming a greater and greater current. And that's why people would then remember Mandela effects and different past timelines because that was one that was real before this one became the dominant. And then that also leads into most conspiracy theories of then you could say that's why they're trying to control your thoughts so much anyway, just to slightly navigate the mental mass timeline to keep it going foolishly. You know what I mean? So I picture it as like a rope and a braiding coming together rather than the other way.
See, so like mine was think of like a ball in the center and just lines coming from
Yeah.
all directions, all to a you know a
Oh,
center focal point,
yeah.
and we're just growing together as
That's
it goes.
yeah.
And that's why we have so much Mandela
That's pretty
effect now. Now, a lot of this can also be blamed on our excessive use of communication. Everybody is very, very wrapped up right now with about how awful humans are, but somehow forget that we used to like beat each other to lions because there were lions and there were people. You know what I mean? Like people have always been
yeah.
awful. You know what I mean? If you live in the U.S. right now and like your big thing is what's a good one? Lifting any kind of minority out of whatever fucking bullshit they're having to go through. Um, totally cool. I support the shit out of that. But you need to realize that in other countries, slavery is still fucking huge. There's no race
Yeah.
fucking tied to it. It's I just own you now. So
and not to mention,
continue with the push for equality for everybody, but I feel like a lot of people has this, like, you want to see everything in the past. You want to fight all this past trauma. There's still shit that's fucking shit up. All right, I'm trying to get to Mars. All right, we have to get our shit together.
not to mention, like, the brand new project of genocide going on Hawaii. Like, we haven't overcome any of that. It's still starting new chapters of that. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
what
harsh.
are we doing? You know what I mean?
Oh, and then, like, there's a literal genocide going on in China. Like,
yeah, that
this will
too.
probably never air there, but like we can say that in America, I think. But like the Uyghur genocide, we're just like, okay, we can't talk about this because China makes everything and has money in everything and produces everything. So it's like, we can talk about like Holocaust remembrance, but we can't talk about like what's currently it's mind blowing.
And I think that's something that takes me out of my element, and it takes me from a Dudeist, from Dudeism to Waltarianism.
Right.
And like anybody that is a Dudeist that needs to realize that shit is going to happen. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you are going to be Dude, sometimes you are going to be Walter. And unfortunately, sometimes you're also going to be Donnie, where you feel like you were doing your best and you're just being shit on. And that is happening to everybody, whether they're a Dudeist or not. So
yeah. And how many people actually heard of the Seattle 7 before this actually before the movie, right? But it was an actual thing. There was an actual Port Huron statement. So fucking A,
Google was at one point or another back to back.
It's like if we care too much about the world, we lose our cool, our dude nature.
That's true.
Isn't that shit?
It's like,
sucks.
Yeah. It's such a weird combination.
Well, there's
of a planet.
There's nothing that's not balanced. So
yeah,
I think Dudeism, and like it's been a really long time since I've done any kind of religious study, but I think Dudeism has got to be one of the only, religions that is literally based on how everybody that is not follow this religion is acting. You know what I mean? Like I can bullshit with you dudes, man. Everything's gonna be fucking cool, right? We're all Dudists, man. I know that it's gonna be fucking cool, but I have to rely on how somebody on the other side of the world who has no idea about the Big Lebowski, unfortunately, on how my day is going to go. Are my gas prices going to go up? Is there going to be any fucking SpaghettiOs at the dollar store? Like, a little bit of everything. It's never the dude's fault, but it's always the dude's problem.
That's a very good point.
I won't say never, is it? It is at points to a certain point the dude's fault, but all he wanted was his rug back.
Right.
Well, you could say it's all the dude's choice then.
There you go. I mean, and
I like it, but I'm mad because I like it.
He's an opportunist. No,
my dude, my dude.
But I like walking out of the house. Man, old man said I could take any rug in the house.
That's great. Yeah, that's true.
Oh shit, you don't have a light, do you, Caleb?
Well, if I need to, I can put a light on.
You're just going to be slowly darker and darker.
Yeah, it's much later in the year, so the sun wasn't setting last time, but we can do something. I'll just close the window now.
It's been dark since I started.
I was going to say, I have an exciting thought that has been in my head this week, which is that, so my unofficial brother-in-law is just graduated and in that frustrating stage of trying to find a job, right? And he's going on a frustrating unemployment streak right now. And that cross-referenced in my mind that he's never seen the film. So what better time for a young man to be introduced than fresh out of post-secondary education and a bum, right? So
Right.
I'm looking forward to that. It has to be soon, probably.
Oh, it hasn't happened yet. Okay. Well, let us
it
know.
will soon. So
Let us know. Yeah.
we have a lot of movie nights, so I'll make it soonish.
Yeah.
Introducing the movie is so
yeah,
weird
it was so
too.
interesting about it. It's so weird. But like it was one of those movies I immediately wanted to watch again. Like
Okay.
I felt like I could get more out of it. Like maybe I missed something. Like and I wasn't even high at the you know what I mean? Like
Comedy Central before
I wasn't even high
noon
at the time.
in the early 2000s, it didn't matter if you wanted to watch it again. You were watching that shit again.
Oh,
I can blame.
Because who's gonna keep watching TV?
Yeah, I can blame fucking Comedy Central before noon for most of my fucking movie taste. That and my Uncle Don. But like played, you know what I mean? Gems, fucking gems.
I remember that. Oh yeah, yep. That's the only reason I ever saw My Cousin Vinny.
There was probably some poor sucker who saw The Big Lebowski like 10 times on Comedy Central before they saw it unedited and hadn't realized then that they weren't talking about strangers in the Alps.
Strangers in the Alps.
Bro, I was so confused for so long. That was me. I am him.
What is this? I've only seen DVD. What is this?
Oh, so when it's edited for American television, when Walter is saying this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, they overdub it with this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
In the Alps, like, oh man.
Because it kind of has to match what his mouth is doing.
Sure.
So they came up with find a stranger in the Alps.
And it makes no sense and never has.
No.
No.
I like it better though.
It's like, it kind of adds to his character a little bit, you know. Like he's just nuts. Oh, he's nuts, you know.
Yeah.
That means something to him, and he's very upset about it. Whatever it means.
Maybe on the way to Vietnam, Walter got diverted to Switzerland and he found a stranger in the Alps and the guy kicked his ass.
It's just weird that they both sound extremely rapey. You know what I mean? That they were able to match it up like.
Right. It's true though. The repetition of the original is also pretty absurd.
Has anyone ever watched? Has anyone ever watched it backwards to look for hidden messages? That just crossed my mind.
No, but I'm open this weekend.
Did you just say watched it backwards?
Yeah, like backmasking in music, you know, but there's so much more you could do in a movie.
It's just a dude like, buy stock in Apple. Tesla's gonna take over Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, watching movies backwards is great. I watched Titanic backwards, and it's about a heroic ship that saves a bunch of people.
Comes out of the bottom of the ocean. That's badass. Hold on. There's a part where we can mark a clip. I gotta fucking...
That fucking merman comes up and starts dating that chick.
That was good. Oh, man. Yeah, the Lebowski backwards is weird. It's a guy who sucks up peas off a guy's rug through his dick.
But it's the thing, though. It's
he donates a rug
Adam,
to a guy in a wheelchair.
Hey, that's just generosity. But
and he's mad about it too. Yeah.
When I saw it the first time, because I saw it in theaters, I had seen Fargo many times, so I was really jazzed about it. And when I walked out, I'm like, I had no idea what the point was, but I was like, I need to see that again, because I know there was a lot that I missed. But then you realize there really is no, or at least not much of a plot to speak of.
It's all subconscious, subtle stuff that you just pick up on. That smooth
I mean,
gangster
like
fucking.
I watch it now and I still pick up on nuances that I had never noticed before.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But it's like so bad. Like as he's walking out after doing the most badass thing you've ever seen, he stops to flirt with this young hot chick. Like it's too perfect. Like, oh man, that's
Well, yeah, he's
and that's the
pretty
thing. I think like
bereaved. He's not a sap.
Well, he went there to settle the rug. He's got the rug coming out. He finished his business. It's no longer a matter of like I should get out of here. It's what's next.
I took your
Yep.
rug. I'll take your
like,
wife.
oh,
Sure.
Yeah. I've just always loved how he's able to just so quickly respond with the perfect line when she points at Yuli in the pool and says, "Oh, he's a nihilist. He doesn't care about anything." And the dude just immediately, "Oh, it looks exhausting."
that must be exhausting.
And he's not wrong though. Like really.
No.
See, and this all loops back.
The way he's doing it.
This all loops back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, he's not a dumb person. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say lazy. I would say comfortable. But I think of myself as very sarcastic and very witty. That's just who I am as a person. It's my whole personality. I would not have thought about that shit. If somebody was beating my ass and putting my head in a toilet, I would have never thought to.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Well, and it
but
also go ahead.
You
Oh, it just shows what a pacifist is, because I'm thinking in that situation, I'd be getting up, I'd be throwing haymakers, and the dude just he never reacts with violence.
Okay, I had this thought. Like, think about it
Okay.
from this way. Like, the narrator, the stranger, is clearly a cowboy, right? He's like that archetype. Like, he talks in that way, dude, that's not a word most people self-apply where I come from. And where he come from, what he's thinking about, like the paradigm he's in is like, you get up at, crack of dawn and you get to work, and you work all day and, conquer the West and, then make babies and whatever. Like, that's his thing. And I think the reason he's calling the dude lazy is because the dude's whole goal in life is to take it easy all the time. Like, working is not taking it easy. Bowling is taking it easy, right? And like, to that guy, like, you're wasting your life, and that someone who's wasting their life is just lazy. They don't want to work.
But he
And
likes
it's not
his
that the
style.
dude wants to work.
Yeah.
It's just that
Yeah.
work is not taking it easy.
Yeah, no, like Caleb said, he does say later that he likes the dude's style.
Is the stranger omnipotent? Because I say yes, but a
He
strong
has to
case
be.
could be made either way.
I mean, he knows that a little Lebowski is coming.
That's true.
Right.
That's kind of a giveaway. Yeah.
At that point in the story, maybe before Maud and the dude even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good.
I believe he's omnipotent. I think Skits is just being a
Okay, so
negative.
I want to hear Skits, but I got to follow up to that. But Skits first, go. You're muted.
You're muted. God damn it, Skits.
God damn it.
We are professionals here. Come on.
Hey, look,
It's a professional.
my studio is fucking outside. All right, a lot of trains.
Hey, me too.
A lot of trains.
My studio
Mine
has
has
a
a toilet.
dog in it, so
Okay, so no, the stranger's a real person. He's a real person.
You
He's
think?
a cowboy living in LA, hanging out at a bowling alley. He's obviously the fucking dude's neighbor. You ever lived in a fucking apartment anywhere in California? Paper thin walls. Doesn't matter where you go. Of course he knows all this shit.
Oh. That's a take. Okay. I feel like if we actually pulled up a script and dissected dialogue, that there would have to be something that is a bit more mystical than
Everything
that.
he talks about is
But
shit.
that's a good.
Everything that he talks about is shit that gets brought up in the apartment, even down to what happens at the fucking bowling alley,
Okay.
whether he's there or not. He knows about the piece because of the fucking voicemail. He knows about fucking Maud because she showed up. He knows
Oh, he might have
That he
heard the
heard,
dude
yeah.
yelling at Defino outside.
See what I'm saying?
I'm just helping my lady friend conceive.
Okay. So now, okay, the stranger manifests as a cowboy, right? I like to think that he's a spirit of some degree. You could say God. You could say the dude's higher self. We'll just call him a spirit to be vague enough, right? But he narrates the chapter of the dude's life that we're about to bear witness to as the tumbleweed is rolling into the city while the old cowboy song is playing. I'm pretty sure that's like his spirit rolling into town to be able to tell us about this story. And that's why he can, conveniently, because it is a film, we don't see whether he just poofs at the bar and away, or walks up and sits down, or crawls up like a spider and sits down, or anything, you know what I mean? So the dude, he begins by telling us how much this guy is of his time and place. And he is so much not of that time, but maybe of that place, like in the 1800s or something. So I like to think of it as the stranger's clearly not actually there because he's just manifesting from maybe there, but from another time. Maybe he's a Mandela effect. But no, I'm pretty sold on the he is not a human being line. But I'm gonna have to watch again now just to find a way to prove that to you, I think.
Well, I mean, so
I'm right there with you.
again, I'm
right
not.
there with you.
My last name is not Cohen. I have no claim to fame. But if I was gonna pull that angle, it would have been Gary.
The landlord?
No, that's Marty. Gary.
No, the
Yeah, the
bartender.
bartender.
Marty. Oh,
Yeah, that's who I'd have as an
yeah.
omniscient
A bit
spirit.
cliche.
Well,
But yeah.
never seen.
The bartender wasn't real. Like, he gave him a drink. Like, what do you
No,
mean?
he also told him about a phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah, fell for you, dude. That's true. Someone has to be running the bar.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Gary. Friends like these, huh, Gary?
And if you're gonna make the
okay,
perfect Caucasian, you know what I mean?
You're gonna get it in the bowling alley.
Hell yeah.
No, that seems like an open-ended either way one. See, but that just goes to show that the real answer is it's what you want it to be. Is it this? Yes. It's what you make of it, there's no wrong answers. The best,
Welcome to Dudeism,
the
everybody.
most highest possible form of creativity in terms of art that is presented to other people is to be so specific but still so vague that anyone can plug what they want into it and it works. The best songs are written that way, and these characters, you can't get more specific than that. Sam Elliott as a cowboy in 1990 whatever LA. That's so niche. But still, we're coming up with a plethora, a rainbow of backstories for him. You know what I mean? That's the epitome of artistic creativity, in my opinion.
No,
So-
really.
I have a question. It's kind of open ended, and none of us would know the answer because we're not the Coen brothers. But they make reference to the dude being the perfect man or the man for his time and place. So you figure that they put thought into that. So I wonder what the significance is of his story taking place around the first Gulf War. Because that was only 7 years before the movie was made. Why? Why the first Gulf War? Why 1991 of all times?
I missed the whole question. I got a phone call coming in. Sorry.
No, you're good, Caleb. I was wondering if the dude is the man for his time and place.
Right.
Is there a significance to the movie being set around the time of the first Gulf War?
Well, yeah.
What is it?
That's the dude's time and place.
Well, yeah.
You couldn't have it another time and place. That's the dude's time and place. That's what he's for.
I mean, no, I think
but I get what you're saying.
It is an interesting question, and I think it's because like it's between two ages. Like it's coming from a place like the 30s, 40s, 50s where, you know, gender roles, where society, strata, everything is more codified. That's the fucking word I was trying to think of earlier today. Sorry. Everything is more codified and like it's more solid. Roles are more solid, and what a man is and what a woman is and all these things, right? You know, a millionaire is like the big thing. And then, you know, 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you know, everybody started dropping acid and tripping out a little bit and like, what are we really doing here? You know, and started sort of like, who am I really? Asking that question. And to me, okay, to me, it's more cosmic than this. To me, it's like we're experiencing a different cycle on the planet. So there's different like types of souls that are incarnating onto the planet. And that might be way too fucking esoteric for this discussion. But if you ask me personally, if you ask me personally, that's what I think, that we are experiencing an age of an upward shift in consciousness, and there are souls coming to the planet to help with that shift in positions of influence to do so. So that's my spiel on it.
I'm guessing you don't have a Walmart in Nevada City because we are not in an upward tick in consciousness.
No, see here's the thing. It's planetary consciousness, and it's very slow moving, and it has to drag a lot of weight along with it. But that's like part of the drama, part of the Leela, the play of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is that that's true.
I think that
it's very true.
I think
Walmart's getting worse.
I think that you guys are like reading too much into it. Who would have handled that movie better? Would Walter have handled it better if he was in the dude's place and all that shit happened to him?
No, Walter would have shot Wu and the other guy.
Yeah, John Wick, fucking, like, you know what I mean?
I was just gonna say they would have been dead.
Who?
End of movie.
Yeah, who else would have been the man for that time and place?
That's true. That's true. Donnie would have just rolled with it and taken it.
Right.
We should make a short film where they try and do the exact same thing to Walter. And instead of going with it, he throws him off of him, pulls out a gun and shoots them both dead. And it's the end of film. Like, that's the whole...
We can bring this together.
The irony is his rug gets ruined either way.
Right. And then he goes to the dude, he's like, my rug got bled on, dude. You know whose fault this is? Fucking Jackie Treehorn. That rich fuck. And then he crashes Jackie Treehorn's garden party and somehow gets his money and walks off into the night with the topless lady.
Oh, yeah. Walter would not have trusted a drink that Jackie Treehorn had just made him. He would have drank the drink.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. It's a drug-a-man.
All right, so all this has to
Anyone
also
here
be...
gotten roofied?
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, not while
Sorry.
not while we're recording. No, and we have to go full circle. Arch Greaves, if you're watching this, hey, man, we need to use that property you were talking about. We got to film a short film.
Yeah.
All right, that'll be our next guest here.
We need to find a Chinaman to play Wu.
Not the proper nomenclature, but I
I'm
think I
not
might
talking about someone who built the fucking railroad, dude.
Oh, God. Okay. Back on topic.
Well, as much as we ever.
I don't know what the fuck we're...
Yeah, what was the topic?
I don't even remember.
Perfect.
Let's see.
We're nailing it.
String theory, rope theory,
Yeah.
Messy buns.
cable theory. But see, like, I think then we're like, you know, discounting the idea of just infinity. Just like, have you ever seen a fractal? You know, you ever been so tripped out that all you see is fractals? Like, the universe is just a fractal manifestation of an infinite being. Like there's no comprehending that with the little meat blob up here. Like, come on.
We are a D+
Infinity
project in the closet of an alien child.
That sounds about right.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I forget even what it was. What word did you just say that I repeated as my lead-in? Oh, come on, help me out.
Infinite?
Fractal?
Yeah, infinity. We're trying to think of it as like the number at the end beyond numbers.
Right.
Right? But like, to me, it's 0. Because like infinity is beyond value. It has no value. There's a difference between nothing and no thing. You know what I mean?
I know
and
exactly.
So, what's more than 0? 1.
What?
I don't know. That was just an add-on for dramatic effect. But
You had me there all the
you
way
know
up
what I mean?
until we started counting. Damn, I got that.
Exactly.
I got that Midwest
No,
education.
that came
Fuck.
to me in the moment.
Wait, guys, hold on. I just had a thought. What's more than 1? 2.
Well, see, and now we're getting into like mystical, Kabbalistic creation story for sure.
Right. Well, no, and that's the thing is like there's a lot to be said about 2 and the dual and duality, and that's how
If we're a simulation, then it's a code, and then it's math anyway.
Zeros and ones. That's it.
Right. And it has to be and it has to be balanced.
Nothing's zeros and ones. Nothings that are also everything and something.
Assholes and dicks.
It's the balance of that which is beyond being and that which can be, right?
That's just gonna be. Hold on, let me mark this clip. That's gonna be the whole clip. It's just skits, just going assholes and dicks. I was just gonna talk about how I just made a clip of Cal talking about his tattoo of the symbol of Dudeism, which is a yin yang, a take on the yin yang, which is about the balance of. It's a rad symbol, and it's about the balance of the universe.
I like it. That's maybe what sold me on Dudeism was the actual genuine symbolicness of that symbol. It's great.
So under that, paradigm, Cal, technically, for things to get better, Walmart has to get worse. So
right.
put that in your pipe.
Okay, well, it is doing that.
He killed off Kmart. Is that not enough?
Oh God, that place. Oh, I think Kmart killed itself, dude. It was pretty pitiful by the end there. We had one in my town,
dude.
Right. We had one in my town that was practically just kill me. Sorry. Anyway, all right. Long live Target. Thank you for moving in. Fucking A. We're a Target town now, so take that, Princeton, Indiana.
Oh yeah, well we have a Walmart and probably a Spirit Halloween maybe soon. I don't know.
Probably.
We have more Mexican restaurants
that place is
than
rad.
anywhere else on the planet.
I live in southern New Mexico. I beg to differ.
Coming from southern Nevada, I also have to beg to differ because for so many, it's like church Mexican restaurant.
Sounds about right. Oh, fucking A. What's up, pup? All right. So, Caleb, did we ask you this before? Unless you have any more mind fucking blowing string theory. And by the way, the infinity thing, I've thought about that a lot. Like it's literally like I think about it as literally like just a ring. Like it's 0.
Yeah.
It just is. It just exists. It has no beginning. It has no end. And time doesn't exist. So, I love chewing on that one. But what I was going to ask you is a much more practical, mundane, and awesome question that I love. And I was just thinking about when we were talking about Gary the bartender, I was thinking that might possibly be my answer to this question. Spoiler alert. But the question for you, maybe we asked you last time, is if you were in the movie at some point, what would it be? If you were like a background character, not any of the main characters,
Oh, I
but a
think
background character.
you might have. Yeah, I remember talking about it, but I'll
Okay.
probably have a different answer anyway. So let me think a second. But
Okay, well, I just want to say, because I don't know if I said it before, I think Gary the bartender would be like the
there you
fucking
go.
coolest role. You know, you don't really
Yeah,
have
he
to be
sees a lot.
seen
Maybe
the whole line.
I'm gonna go with the brother Seamus, just to think about like everything he's seen leading up to like his whole life must be just wild. Like, you know,
Man, the actor that plays that guy is just so perfect.
he's perfect. Yeah, and
Like,
the
oh
car,
my
everything,
god.
the suit, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think
No
I'll think
physical
of a
harm
B,
intended.
but he's got it. Like his office must just be a shit show. You know,
Oh, yeah.
like filing cabinets falling apart and
Oh, yeah.
crap everywhere.
Paper everywhere over
Yeah,
his desk.
yeah. Just like a smoke in the upper atmosphere of the room that just won't ever leave.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
He'd
And
be
he's
a
one
I
of
neat
those
guy.
thick windows.
they never answer the question if he helps the Knutsons get their wandering daughter back.
Yeah, that's unsolved.
Yeah.
Right.
But
It's
how
like
are you going to
law.
keep him on the farm when they've seen Carl Hungus?
Yeah. How's she
Yeah.
coming back?
She might just get exhausted and go back home.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. She might stick with the Big Lebowski because you got to feed the monkey.
Sure.
Toes don't come cheap. They
Yeah,
can come
no.
quick, but they don't come cheap.
Oh.
Oh man, I saw this thing today that just said toe warmer, and I was like, God damn it! I should have taken a picture.
Now I'm wondering if she got into the porn films before or after. Because now I'm wondering, like, did the Big Lebowski see her in a porn movie and be like, I've got to meet her?
Could
Hey,
be.
Brent, I
guess
recognize
could
her.
be.
Go fetch her.
Bring her to me.
Send a limo.
Yeah.
I mean, why would she refuse a limo? You know, that's probably why he has it. Go pick
Yeah.
up girls he sees on porn films.
I think we should make a short film from Brant's perspective.
Yeah.
That's fucking interesting.
As awkward as he
I don't
is,
know exactly applied how.
yeah, as awkward as he is, you have to make him a supervillain. But he is just so fucking awkward. He just can't pull anything off. So he's just stuck working for the Big Lebowski.
Well, here's an opinion question. Did Brant know that the kidnapping was fake?
Right, that's a good question.
And did Brant know that there was no money in the briefcase?
Totally new.
I
My
want to
dude's solid.
trust him. I feel like I trust him when the dude's in the limo and he looks at the Big Lebowski and he's like, "This is new information to us." I think it looks like that genuinely changes his thinking. But that's a good question.
I honestly think the Big Lebowski, of his own accord, stuffed the briefcase with a phone book and handed that to Brant and just told him.
Okay.
You know,
I thought they were in on that together. I always got the vibe. Like the scamming the dude part, anyway. That seemed premeditated for sure.
I mean,
Maybe,
okay,
but
go ahead.
I mean, the one qualm that I have with that idea, and I mean, it might well be true, but Brant is the only person outside of the dude's circle of friends who calls him the dude.
That's
He
true. He's
treats him
respectful.
with some level of affection and respect in a way.
Well, that's his
Brant
job.
if the dude is a lazy man, Brant is a freaking professional. And we gotta respect Brant for being a pro at his job.
Like I said,
Although
except for not checking about the rug thing.
yeah, all he had to do was poke his head in and ask Jeffrey
exactly.
Lebowski, the millionaire, "Hey, did you say he could take a rug?"
Right. Are you sure? But no. But other than that, he's a professional.
Yeah.
well, but here's the thing.
Sure.
That's what
like
I'm
that.
saying is he's Brant is solid. My dude is solid. He's on the forces of evil. Man, like whatever. That's all about your perception. But dude's solid. All right, my employer needs me to do this. He has this client, coworker, contingent, whatever you want to call the dude, that's doing all this shit. I just have to
Yeah.
buy into it. You know what I mean? Oh, this fucking homeless dude walks out of my boss's office and says, I can take any rug in the house. Damn, he's really showing off today. We must have a good scam coming up. You know what I mean? Like, he's fucking solid.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we think, I was going to ask what, I might have asked this last time also too, for all we know, but I was going to ask, what do you think would be the biggest motivator for Brant to be so committed? But as we're talking about it, I'm starting to think it's maybe he's like so taken by the Big Lebowski's pseudo legacy that he thinks like it's just not fair. Like, this guy needs so much help being a cripple. Like, he could have done so much more if not, so the least I can do is help him and it, like, be his Smithers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a ledge right now and say that I probably have more therapy hours than all of you guys combined. And that's everybody that
Okay.
I'm talking to that I can see, and everybody that's watching this. Lots of it. You know, fucking mommy issues, bro. Yeah, he's got mommy issues.
Hey, it's good to do
Yeah,
something about it.
he needs that authoritarian fucking figure. One that, like, as he got older, he could probably take in a fist fight, but he still has that fear because that is that
It came
fucking
down
above
to it.
me. You know what I mean? That's what it is, man. Fucking Freud, bro.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
see
I
that.
can't solve a Rubik's
Well,
Cube,
and
but I can
Maud
fucking...
clearly has daddy issues. So.
Exactly. Which is why she is...
Does she?
Yes, hell yeah.
Why?
Because she is free as fuck. It just hit her in a positive
I don't
way
think
instead
so.
of a negative way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, people see everything as like, it's
Yeah,
got to be
I
one
mean, no,
way.
she clearly just
She seems the most balanced of anyone.
Well,
to me.
feminism for her is this big rebellion, you know, and
Yeah.
it's like
Right,
it's
totally.
she's one of the feminists that takes it like really far in certain ways, but then also, you know, like
She's
she
literally
literally
the
like
vagina artist. Yeah, but she's exactly that type. You're right.
but
That's a good
but
point.
she literally like uses the dude, you know, like she
Yeah.
dehumanizes him. And
Yeah.
it's like that's a bit far. You know, that's not balance.
That's her mistaken identity as being a feminist perfection, but just
Right.
oh man, that
Right.
ties in.
But you have to see it from
Right.
you have
That's
to see it
good.
from
Well,
her
okay, so going
perspective.
back
Okay, so like
please.
the way
Okay.
she's looking at every man is from the man in her life's perspective. And I know that at least 3 of us have kids. You know, I have a daughter and whatnot. And the person that she saw was some fucking douchebag scammer that, like, you know, plateaued at some point. But it was her mother that was the stronghold. This fucking idiot probably tripped over a root, fucking doing, you know,
True.
laps, you know, while enlisted, was never taken out by anything, broke both of his kneecaps, you know what I mean? Like, fell out of his bunk.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that what she
Some
is,
Chinaman.
yeah, I'm not saying what she, you know, her point of view on whatever is correct. I'm just saying that, like, it's hard not to have that perspective when that's your perspective. Now, of course, she grew up into a grown ass woman with her own thoughts and worldly and like what. Like I stated earlier, a lot of the attraction to Dudeism is people that have some kind of trauma, something fucked up with them. So your dad being a giant douche and taking credit for everything that your mom did after her untimely passing. Yeah, I'd probably think that, you know, dudes were douchebags unless they looked like little weasels and giggled weird.
Yeah, sure.
Fucking Knox Harrington.
I like Knox Harrington.
Dude, he is such a good actor. I did not realize until recently that it's the same actor that played the professor in Harry Potter. for like,
Yeah.
many years. Like,
Nice.
anyway, okay. But I want to go back to one of the greatest actors of our generation, Brandt. And something that he said, like, turned the dude when he tells the dude, her life is in your hands.
That fucks
And
him
then
up.
he says, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, Mr. Lebowski asked me to repeat that. Like, he makes sure he gets it in the dude's head that like her life is, no, it's not. But the dude is so like, whoa, like Brandt called him the dude. He was so respectful. He got on his good side. And then, so it's like, if he was going to manipulate him, and if he like, I'm not saying that I believe in that theory that, Brandt was kind of in on the evil plot.
Right.
I don't know, but he knows who pays him. So
it goes back to him being so awkward. The Big Lebowski asked him to repeat it because he knew that he was not going to convey it in a convincing way the first time. He's like, you weird fucker. And Brandt's just at home like, I'm going to destroy the whole fucking world. Blah, 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 blah. And then gets around people and is like, yeah, dude. Hell yeah, cool. Yeah, grab the rug.
Okay. Or they put this whole scam on the dude's head, thinking here's our scapegoat, right? Man, this guy's not even taking it seriously enough. We really need to light a fire under his ass. Like, we need to say something that's going to actually make him take something in his life seriously.
Or both.
And it worked.
Maybe both.
It worked if it was that.
Yeah.
That intertwines. There's no black or white. Everything's gray.
Yeah.
Well, fucking A, I'm looking at the time here, and we are about to wrap it up. So,
cool.
Skit's last question. What do you got for us?
What was your name again? No, I'm kidding.
I'm a brother Seamus.
Seamus, you are quite a drive away from all of us. And not saying that is anything that any of us would put together, but would you travel to, let's say, like 300 miles to a Lebowski type fest? I don't know if I can say Lebowski fest because that was already a thing.
A dude convention?
Yeah, a big thing.
Confluence?
Is that something that'd
be sick?
I mean, would you be in for the long haul? I mean, I know that it's cool to talk about in theory, but is that something that would?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways what sort of future event you're talking about could look, but most of them I'd be pretty on board with. That sounds cool.
Okay, cool. We just need 1 million more people to say that, and then a few people to put it on, and we're good.
If any of our 17 listeners want to help here, then
yeah, take off with it.
But anyway, Caleb, thank you for joining us again. Much appreciated.
Problem.
This was one of the trippiest and most awesome discussions I've had in quite some time.
Sweet.
Skits and Cal, as always, great to be abiding with you dudes. And to all our subscribers, fucking hey, we appreciate you. And take her easy out there.
Yeah, please tell your friends about us. Spread the word.
Tell your mother.
I'll make some clips. Share some clips. And take her easy. Peace.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thanks, Caleb.